Good morning, everybody. We'll begin today's session now. The first question, how many times is the area of the outermost triangle compared to the area of the innermost triangle? Here you're given a diagram. You have to identify what is the area of the outermost triangle compared to that of the innermost triangle. So this is the innermost triangle. आपको ये ढूंढना है कि how much is this area in proportion to the outermost triangle. Okay. When you look at the whole diagram, and try to break up in terms of smaller parts, or break the geometry of the bigger triangle with reference to the shape or the proportion of the smaller triangle, this is how the diagram emerges, where you can clearly see that it is comprising of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. 16 parts. So correct answer is option A. Okay, move to the next one. You have to here identify the correct order of rotation. Here each figure in one as numbered as 1, 2, 3 is rotated in some way or the other. You have to identify from the options which is the correct sequence of rotation from this part. Okay. So here it's rather than getting into how, okay, let's figure out how it is rotated, we should ideally just look at the options and cross check it. That's it. Where option A says 7, 8, 9. So 7, 8, 9. So I will just look at one part. Say, for example, the most peculiar part here appears to me is this one. Say this part. ये नीचे है, फिर ये थोड़ा ऊपर गया यहाँ पे और थोड़ा ऊपर गया. Here it goes again upward, थोड़ा यहाँ पे और थोड़ा ऊपर गया, फिर यहाँ पे ये नीचे जा रहा है, फिर यहाँ पे सडनली बहुत नीचे जा रहा है. So no, A does not follow. Then comes option B. Option B में it goes like this. So ये वाला part है, so it comes up, again comes up. यहाँ पे फिर वो और ऊपर जा रहा है, फिर यहाँ पे फिर वो और ऊपर गया, ये वाला पार्ट और ऊपर, ये वाला पार्ट और आगे गया. So you know it kind of following that geometry. So yes, this works. Next, option C. Option C में if I just observe this part, यहाँ से ये वाला जो पार्ट है वो सडनली आपका जा रहा है, 1 second. यहाँ पे जा रहा है. So from here it jumps directly here. So no, it does not follow. Then comes option D. Option D में like we saw here, this works. This vertically works because ये pattern B में follow हुआ था and then it, yes, this part works. But फिर यहाँ से फिर हम यहाँ पे आ रहे हैं तब वो sudden jump हो रहा है, which may work to some extent, but then the rotation is, how should I put it? It's opposite. Okay, क्योंकि यहाँ पे वो नीचे आ रहा है, so it does not work. So D does not work. Henceforth, our assumption that we are putting B on hold, which is correct, is true. So option B is the correct one. Okay, we'll move to the next one. The following images are iconic art forms or products of certain countries. You have to identify the correct set of countries that can predominantly attributed to all these art forms, which is the correct country around which you can predominantly attributed these art forms to. Here individual country needs set are in random sequence. Option में ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि ये ऐसे फैला इंडिया है तो ये इंडिया होना चाहिए. They can be randomly organized. Okay. So the first image. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. The first one, if you see, belongs to Turkey. This is Japan. This is India. And this is Russia. So the correct answer is option C. India, Russia, Japan, Turkey. That's the only set where it houses all the 4 countries. Okay. We'll move to the next one. Refer the following image of a metal artifact made using traditional manual tools, skills, and processes. Identify the correct set of operations that is required to make it. Okay. Here, what happens is we'll look at one by one. Here, the correct answer is this. In order to make this artifact, you need to forge it. Forging is a process of casting in metal. Bend, of course, bending is this required. Punching यहाँ पे use हो रहा है, the holes that you see here. And then twisting, of course, happens here in the horns part, which you can see here. So option A is the one which is the correct one. Okay, we'll move to the next one. Thamarai's father has made a roti for her. She folds the roti in the following sequence and packs it in a lunchbox. You have to identify which is the folded roti. Of the option, which is the folded roti is what you have to identify. Okay. So this is how the folding sequence happens. पहले इसको ऐसे fold किया है and then it is folded. So when you do the first fold, this is how it looks like in the front. Then when you do the second fold, तब ये वाला part ऐसे जाता है. So this is the one that you see जो पीछे जाता है इसके, जिस यहाँ पे आता है जो part इसके पीछे आ रहा है, which comes in the front. So the correct answer is option B. Okay. Here our clue is this part, the part which is coming out. This is our clue. So when you fold it like this, तो ये वाला part पीछे जाएगा आपका. So yeah, and then of course when you bring fold it, after folding it, then you look at it in the front. This is how it looks like, because पीछे वाला, इसके पीछे वाला part आगे आएगा आपका. So this part which happens at the back इसके वो आगे आएगा. फिर इसको ऐसे फोल्ड करेंगे. So इसके पीछे के साइड ये वाला पार्ट होगा, that comes in the front, which is this one. So option B is correct. Okay, move to the next one. 4 cutouts of shapes labeled P, Q, R, S are shown here. Using one or more of the cutout pieces, how many unique combinations can be made that will create a square or a rectangle? What you are given also is कि PR को अगर आप ऐसे ज्वाइन करते हो तो वो एक ही तरीके का शेप होगा, क्योंकि वो रोटेटेड वर्जन है हर एक में. बट if that same form is made using P and R as 2 pieces and S as a separate piece, तो वो अलग अलग होंगे forms. Okay, how do we do it? So these are all the possible combinations that you can get. So the first one that you see is made using 2 parts, which are P, R. The next one is Q. This is P. This is R and this is P. And the middle one is S. This is Q. This is R, P. This is R, S, P, and Q. So how many combinations we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Correct answer is option B, 5. Okay. We'll move to the next one. 5 friends, Puru, Kadir, Roy, Sham, and Tom, live on 5 vertices of a regular pentagonal ground in clockwise order. They are in clockwise order. That makes your job easier. One day, while Puru was walking to meet Roy, he met Kadir, who was on the way to meet Tom. Kadir changed his mind and decided to go with Puru to meet Roy. After meeting Roy, all 3 went to Tom's house for a cup of tea. Now, if all of them took the shortest route cutting through the ground, which of the following statements is or are true? Now to solve this, we'll first have to look at how the walking, how all the 5 people, or how all the 3 people are walking. Okay, so this is how they walk. This is Puru. One day Puru was walking to meet Roy. Puru ये direction में move कर रहा था. At that point in time, he met Kadir at this junction. Okay. Kadir originally was on the way to meet Tom, but then he changed his mind from this point, and then they went to Roy's place. यहाँ पे. Once at Roy's place, they went to Tom back, and then from there they went back to their homes. Okay. Now, first one. Till Tom's place, Kadir walked more distance than Puru. ये वाले till Tom's place, Kadir walked more distance than Puru. Now ये वाले junction तक both of them are traveling the same distance. यहाँ से आगे भी they are taking the same distance, and then from Roy to Tom's place they are also traveling the same distance. So actually they are walking equal. There is no double or no one is walking more or less than that. Okay, so A वाला part गलत है. B, till Tom's place, Puru walked more than Kadir. Even that is wrong, because we came to know that they are walking the same distance. Till Tom's place, Kadir walked double than Roy. Yes, Kadir walked, compared to Roy, Kadir walked double because he took that distance. फिर इसके बाद ये वाला भी लिया, so Tom से तो double ही हुआ वो distance. So C is correct. While returning to their respective places from Tom's place, Puru has to travel the least, which is true. Tom की जगह से Puru का distance, Puru का जगह is least distance. So D is correct. So option C and D both are correct. Okay, we'll move to the next one. A sphere, a cone, and a cylinder with equal heights are resting on a surface along a straight line. If the source of the light is fixed and the light rays are parallel, which of the options shows the shadows correctly? Okay. Here, if you observe, there are two options, there are two sets of options which are similar. Okay. Which of these options are there? A and C, if you just compare the height of the shadows, they are similar. Or B or D, वो दोनों similar है. Height of the shadow, sorry, the length of the shadow अगर आप देखो, and for each of the three objects, they are actually same. B or D same है और A or C same है. Between both of them, okay. A और C same है, B or D same है, okay. Between both of them, which one to choose? If you compare A and B together, what you will observe is आपका कभी भी शैडो गिरता है ना, सो फॉर एग्जांपल ये पॉइंट का अगर शैडो गिर रहा है तो ये वाला लेंथ इज द लेंथ ऑफ इज विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू द हाइट ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट. नाउ दिस लेंथ विच इज देयर, वो और स्फीयर के केस में वो सेंटर से आता है और यहाँ पे यहाँ कहीं पे एंड होता है. ये और ये डिस्टेंस सेम होना चाहिए और कोन में अगेन सेंटर से यहाँ तक का सेम होना चाहिए. तो इफ देयर हाइट इज सेम, तो ये वाला जो डिस्टेंस है इन कोन, यहाँ से इन स्फीयर, एंड यहाँ ये वाला इन सिलेंडर हैज टू बी सेम, व्हिच इज ट्रू इन ए. बी में क्या हो रहा है कि ये वाला डिस्टेंस जो एच का है वो छोटा हो रहा है कंपेयर टू व्हाट वी सी हियर. So B is wrong, which means B and D both are wrong, and A and C are the one which is the correct answer. Okay, we'll move to the next one. A pencil with pentagonal cross section was sharpened using a pencil sharpener. Which of the following options correctly represents side view of the pencil? Which obviously means one or more option is correct. If you observe all the pencils together, one thing that you will notice is B or D are the same options. How did I came to know that is B, red और blue वाले बीच के red और black वाले के बीच वाला जो point है वो अंदर जा रहा है. It's less in height compared to the other one. B में भी वो ऐसा ही है, वो अंदर की तरफ है. A में वो बाहर की तरफ आ रहा है. C में it's a very different case. If you observe your pencil and then if you try to sharpen your pencil, which has a pencil that is a cross section of a pentagon, आपका जो edge होता है वो सबसे पहले चलता है. The edge gets chamfered, the edge gets cut first. So obviously उसका length कम होगा. That point will have less less height compared to the middle part. यहाँ पे ज्यादा height होता है. So obviously A is wrong, C is wrong, and B and D are the correct answer. Okay, move to the next one. A paper strip with different colors on each side is joined as shown in the figure. If this strip is cut along the dashed lines, which of the options correctly represents the results? Okay. Here ये strip दी है, हम इसको ये dotted line के along काट रहे हैं. After cutting, which of the following which of the option correctly represents the results of it? Now one or more option is possible in this case. Okay. So first things first, we'll look at option A. Option A में ये अगर front है strip का तो ये back view है. In which case front और back का color same है. Versus if you look at the strip, एक side pink है तो दूसरी side cyan है. Teal है, sorry, teal color है. So A is wrong. With case of option B, it is when you cut this kind of strip along the center line, both the parts will not be separated from each other, but they will be tangled with each other. So B में जहां पे वो दोनों पार्ट्स एक के ऊपर एक रखा है वो गलत है. So B is also wrong. C and D both are correct because the strips are front and back pink and teal color, and ये एक के अंदर एक दूसरा tangled है, यहाँ पे भी वो tangled है. So C and D both are correct answer. Okay, we'll move to the next one. Sundays are longer than Mondays. Mondays are shorter than Fridays. Wednesdays are shorter than Saturdays, which are in turn shorter than Sundays. Thursdays are shorter than Saturdays. Tuesdays are longer than Saturdays. Wednesdays and Thursdays are both longer than Fridays. If all these are true, which of the option is or are true? Which means one or more options are correct in this case. Okay. So we'll first start with writing all the conditions. Sundays are longer than Mondays. Mondays are shorter than Fridays. Wednesdays are shorter than Saturday. Saturdays are shorter than Tuesdays. Wednesday and Thursday are greater than Fridays. Yeah. So what can we make out? If I try to locate them in one direction or in one equation, we get this. Monday less than Friday, less than Thursday or Wednesday, less than Saturday, less than Tuesday. हमको ये मिलता है. Okay. So when I look at the option, Wednesdays could be long as Thursday. It's a possibility. So yes, there is a possibility that Wednesday and Thursday could be equal. So A correct है. Possibility दिया है इसलिए we are not told कि ऐसा ही होना चाहिए. Okay. Tuesdays could be the longest day of the week. Tuesdays could be the longest way. It could be दिया है again possibility है. So yes, B is correct. Mondays are shortest day of the week. Yes, that is already established. Monday are the shortest. जो हमको थोड़ा ambiguity है ना वो यहाँ पे ambiguity है. So yes, Mondays are the shortest. C is correct. Friday could be as long as Sunday. No, Friday cannot be as long as Sunday. वो condition possible नहीं है. So D is wrong. So A, B, and C, all three are correct here. Okay, we'll move to the next one. Which of the options cannot be folded along the dotted lines into a package as shown in the image? For simplicity's sake, cut lines have not been shown in the schematic, in the given schematic. The cross section of the package is an equilateral. The cross section of a package is an equilateral triangle. Okay, so while we were discussing this yesterday, I had done one small mistake while explaining. Actually, there's only one answer which is not possible. I was corrected about this later on. So here what happens is in option A, and I actually also tried cutting this and then fixing it also and tried folding it into an equilateral triangle. So yeah, correct answer here is option D is the only one which is not possible. Okay. Now I came to know about this. 1 second. Why is my pencil not working?
Recording in progress.
Okay. Yeah. So like I was saying, I was pointed about this later on. So yeah, what happens here is, ye wala, this is a cut line. The white line that you see here, it's a cut line. So what happens is when this part folds, when this much part folds, ye fold hoke yahan pe it gets fixated. Ye fold hoke yahan pe the part gets fixated inside the cut line. So that's where all the sides, ये वाला जो dimension है आपका versus ये वाला dimension है versus ये वाला dimension है, will all be kept intact as A or equal dimension. So A is possible. With case of B also option the same logic applies. जैसे ये वाला part है जो यहाँ से fold होगा, ये fold होके फिर यहाँ पे ऐसा अंदर चला जाएगा ये cut line के अंदर. So it gets attached inside. So आपका ये पूरा dimension equal रहेगा. So B is also possible. With case of option C, again that same logic appears. जहां पे ये वाला part fold होता है अंदर, ये वाला part भी fold होता है अंदर, and then this part gets again fixated inside like this, inside that cut line. So C is also possible. In case of option D, what happens is this dimension is fine, this dimension is fine, ये वाला भी सही है. But ये जब यहाँ से fold होता है, जब आप इसको यहाँ से fold करते हो तो ये आपका जो पार्ट है, ये फोल्डेड वाला पार्ट है, वो इसके साथ क्लैश होगा, विच इज नॉट पॉसिबल. सो ओके, आई शुड क्रॉस देम बिकॉज हमको कैन नॉट बी दिया है. सो डी इज द ओनली वन विच इज नॉट पॉसिबल. ओके, ऑलराइट, चलो we'll move to the next one. Each of the options shows a pair of two different pieces. Which of the option cannot be cut out of the given figure? Cannot be cut out दिया है. Okay. So this is the way the cutouts are organized. A वाला जो part है, the red one happens here. Blue वाला जो part है वो यहाँ पे हो रहा है. The C वाला जो part है, green colored happens here, and then orange one happens here. So all both A और C cover हो रहे हैं, so we don't need to worry about it. B और D वाले ये दो पार्ट्स है. एक B रेड वाला जो पार्ट है वो यहाँ पे आ रहा है. इसमें we need a white part here, यहाँ पे, which is not there. So B is the one which is not possible. D वाला जो पार्ट है इसमें ग्रीन वाला यहाँ पे है, यहाँ पे भी we need a white color band. And then this part in D, ये वाला आगे पीछे है लाइन, जहाँ पे यहाँ पे इक्वल दिया है. So D is also the one which is not possible, not cut out from the diagram. So B and D both are the correct answers. Okay, we'll move to the next one. Shown below is an image that represents how cups should stack on top of each other in a stable manner. Among the given different types of cup, which of the cups cannot stack is itself in a stable manner? Stable manner के लिए stack होने के लिए the bottom part either needs to go in or the top part needs to go inside. Either of them. Okay. So when you look at the options, option A में when I draw this line, आपका जो बेस वाला पार्ट है, जो सबसे कम डिस्टेंस है बेस का, जो सबसे कम डिस्टेंस है बेस का, वो आपका एक्चुअली ऐसे स्टैक होगा. ये कम वाला डिस्टेंस फिर वो ज्यादा बढ़ेगा, and then it comes out further on both the sides, and then it goes out. So A wala part is clearly not possible because it will be resting one on top of each other. It won't be interlocking like this. It won't be going inside like this. So A is the one which cannot be stacked. B. Option B wala jo part hai, isme bhi, when I draw this vertical line here, वो यहाँ कहीं पे आ रहा है आपका. So obviously आपका जो कप है वो ऐसे कुछ ऑर्गेनाइज होगा कि पहले वो ऐसे स्टैक हो जाएगा. दिस इज ओवर एग्जैजरेटेड लाइन, then it comes out and then it goes out above like that. So again it's the same situation like we're getting here. So B is also the one which is not possible. With case of option C also again the same thing happens जैसा A में हो रहा है, और यहाँ पे भी वो stacking ऐसे होगा आपका, one on top of each other. So C is also the one which is not possible. With case of option D, it can be stacked, जिसमें आपका जो बेस वाला पार्ट है वो यहाँ पे ऐसे आ जाएगा इजीली, जो ये वाला रिम है आपका वो इसके अंदर चला जाएगा. So yes, D is the one which is possible to stack. A, B or C are the one which are not possible to stack. So correct answer is A, B and C, because you have to identify which of the cups cannot be stacked. Okay, we'll move to the next one. In the image shown, objects have been duplicated and rotated. Which objects is or are not arranged around a perfect circle? Okay. There are certain points which do not form a perfect circle. We have to identify which of the points do not form that perfect circle. So this is how the circles happen. In this case, if you observe, there is only one figure, which is this one, which forms a perfect circle. Green वाले में ये अलग पड़ रहा है, orange वाले में आपका ये भी अलग पड़ रहा है, ये भी अलग पड़ रहा है, ये भी अलग पड़ रहा है. With case of pink, this is separate. So B, C and D are the one which do not form a perfect circle. Okay, we'll move to the next one. Figure 2 and 3 can be derived from figure 1 by overlapping some of the given options one at a time. If flipping and rotations are allowed, which options will allow you to derive figure 2 and 3? Okay, we have to use either of the option which can be overlaid on 1 to derive 2 and 3. Now, if I just observe the lines that are missing in 1 and try to trace all those lines in 2 and in figure 2, chalo, first one. These are the lines that are there, which are basically not there in figure 1. B3 also it's the same thing, because A 2 or 3 mirror है एक दूसरे का, but still I will trace it. Okay. If you observe all the options together, वो जो hexagon बन रहा है बीच में, उसका एक point में कोई connection नहीं आ रहा है, versus D में वो हर एक sides, हर एक point पे वो connection आ रहा है यहाँ पे. So D is the one which is not possible. A और C दोनों एक दूसरे के mirror है. These are mirror of each other, so both are can be overlaid. Or B वाला is a rotated version of C only, so B is also possible. Correct answer is A, B and C. All three are correct. Okay. We'll move to the next one. P, Q, R, S, T, U and V are bees living in separate cells of a 2D hive made up of hexagon cells. T and V are neighbors of P. R and S are neighbors of U. V does not share a wall with T, U or R, and Q, being the queen, shares a wall with everyone. Which of the option must be true? The hexagon arrangement, when we try to derive it, comes out like this. Q is in the center because she is the queen. P, T and V are neighbors, and then U, R and S are also neighbors. Also, we know V does not share a wall with U, R, T, U, R, T, U and R, which is also true. So we'll look at the options. A, S and V are neighbors. S and V are neighbors is true. R and T are neighbors is also true. P and U share a wall. P and U do not share a wall. No, they in fact Q is there in between. S and T are not neighbors. S and T are not neighbors is also true. Correct answer is A, B and D. Okay, we'll move to the next one. Astha is sailing a paper boat in still water. Which of the given option represents her reflection correctly? Okay. When you look at the options very clearly, you'll find the reflection का I to be different. जैसे B, D वाले में I ऊपर देख रहा है, reflection में वो नीचे देख रहा है, so D is not possible. सी में वो नीचे की साइड देख रहा है, ये भी नीचे की साइड देख रहा है, बी में भी वो नीचे की साइड देख रहा है, ये भी नीचे की साइड, ए में भी वैसा ही है. But between A, B, and C, if you look at the reflection, when I'm looking at my reflection, when my face is little bit looking down, and and reflections happening at the bottom, मेरा जो chin वाला part है वो मुझे ज्यादा दिखेगा compared to my hair. So A is wrong, C is wrong, और B is the correct answer, जिसमें ये chin वाला part ज्यादा दिख रहा है compared to the hair. Okay, so B is the correct answer. We'll move to the next one. An illustration of an ant, of a walking ant and a pair of glasses lying on the table is shown. What is the correct illustration from the ant's current point of view? Ant ऐसे चल रहा है, हमको ये दिखाना है कि which is the correct point of view of the ant from the options. Now from this perspective, because the ant is walking towards the eyeglasses, ये वाला जो आपका पार्ट है, जो डंडी वाला पार्ट है, ये वाला वो आपका छोटा दिखेगा कंपेयर टू अदर साइड, ये वाला. सो बी वाला ऑप्शन गलत है, सी वाला भी गलत है, जिसमें ये एज आपका बड़ा दिख रहा है. Between A and D, though they look very similar, there is a difference. The difference is here. This is what is different. जिसमें ये वाला डंडी नीचे जा रहा है लाइन ऑफ होराइजन से, वर्सेस यहाँ पे वो ऑलमोस्ट लाइन ऑफ होराइजन के अलाइनमेंट में है, और द टेबल का एज ऑफ लाइन ऑफ होराइजन. So here in this case, this condition is only possible जब टेबल का सरफेस अनइवन हो एंड आपका जो डंडी है वो यहाँ से नीचे ऐसा आ रहा है. इफ द टेबल सरफेस इज फ्लैट तो वो डंडी ऐसा दिखेगा, तब ये लाइन ऑफ होराइजन से इतना डेप्थ में नहीं आता है. सो करेक्ट आंसर इज ऑप्शन डी, ऑप्शन ए, एंड डी इज द वन विच इज रॉन्ग. ओके, we'll move to the next one. 3 options are made out of the same set of pieces without flipping. Which of the option is not possible? Okay, these, if you observe, these are pieces of diagram. Flipping allowed नहीं है, rotation possible है यहाँ पे. So which is the option that is not possible? In a diagram piece, it has a square, 2 big triangles, one medium-sized triangle, and 2 small triangles, and 1 rhombus. If you observe all the pieces, rhombus is the only one जिसको आप flip करोगे ना तो आपको समझ में आ जाएगा that is a different piece. So in these kind of options, just check the rhombus first. Rhombus यहाँ पे है, which is the same, ये rotated version है इसका, and then this and this are the same. यहाँ पे वो mirrored है, ये वाला mirror है दोनों A और D में. So D is the only one which is not possible. So D is the correct answer because of the rhombus piece which is flipped. Okay, we'll move to the next one. A giant creature is walking towards a group of buildings in the city. Which is the correct perspective from the creature's point of view? In this case, if you observe creature's eye level, it happens here. Which means कि आपका जो टॉप सबसे बड़ा वाला बिल्डिंग है ये वाला, उसका आपको टेरेस नहीं दिखेगा. सो ए इज रॉन्ग जहां पे टेरेस दिख रहा है, और बी इज ऑल्सो रॉन्ग जहां पे वो टेरेस दिख रहा है. Between C and D, what is different? The different part is this building which is there. So in the question figure, the building is little bit ahead, और पीछे वाला इसके साथ overlap हो रहा है. So D वाला option गलत है, and C is the one which is the correct answer. Okay, we'll move to the next one. The figure shows illustration of 6 metal rods which have internal and external screws. This is internal screw, and then this is an external screw head. The shaded portion in the figure shows the cross section. What is the maximum length possible by connecting the rods? इन सब रॉड को यूज करके हम कितना बड़ा रॉड बना सकते हैं ये ढूंढना है आपको. If I just name the rods A, B, C, D, E and F. Okay. If you observe A और B में internal screw heads ही है, C, D, E, F में एक external है और एक internal है. So obviously I will be using C, D, E, F all, but I might be able to use only one of A or B, क्योंकि वी डोंट हैव एक स्क्रू हेड हमारे पास ऐसा नहीं है जिसमें दो एक्सटर्नल हो. दैट्स व्हाई. हाउ नाउ विल स्टार्ट ऑर्गेनाइजिंग. When I'm organizing them, 1 second. This is the first screw head which I take. Say this is C. C में एक external है और एक internal है. So ये internal आएगा यहाँ पे और ये external आएगा. ये वाला जो external है वो connect होगा मेरा A से. ये internal है. यहाँ से I will connect D, which is ये इंटरनल है तो डी का इंटरनल आएगा यहाँ से. डी का इंटरनल एंड देन सॉरी डी का एक्सटर्नल ए के इंटरनल में जाएगा एंड देन दिस इज अगेन इंटरनल. फिर डी ई एंड एफ विल बी कनेक्टेड आफ्टर दैट. वी कैन नॉट यूज बी हियर. ई एंड एफ. So the dimensions now I'll write. This is 200. A का size is 220. This is 200, this is 200, and this is 200. Now add all of them up, it comes to 1020, which is the maximum length possible. Okay. We'll move to the, sorry, with this question, we'll end the session. Thank you so much for your time.